Oh, fuck, it was streaming. I did a test before it started. I am currently on Windows. So this is going up at noon on the 29th. This is just temporary. I'm on dual boot with Linux, so I'll just switch back to Linux later, but I'm currently downloading something and I need a video for today. So this is it. I want to do this for a while, so this is like a prelude of what's coming after a bunch of shit. Okay, it's fine. This, content warnings. The horror game is not intended for all audiences. Please visit our website if you need a full list of content warnings. Flickering images effects as well as a parallax effect that on rare occasions has caused motion sickness in players. Either of these cause health issues for you, you can disable them in the game's preferences. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Alright, so we have that. Twitter, Discord, focus on Twitter. Full screen that bitch. Mouse off. Start on a new game. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Alright.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Lots of options. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Consider that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up. Kind of bad, doesn't it? Consider that maybe I'm not okay, but then yes, I'm seriously just not able to see the mouse, which is a big problem. Big problem. So, yeah. Just gotta wait for it to boot up. Hold on. Of course there's some tech issues. Alright, I could see it just has to be in window mode. I'm okay with that. Okay. Slay her. Okay, the end of the world. Let me move my mic closer. In the world, what are you
While
talking?
I appreciate the mental exercise we are running up,
I didn't answer. Yes. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing the princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do it? Forget it, I'm not doing this. So maybe I'm okay with the world ending, or get some kind of reward for this. Thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always went off of Mark. Viva la revolution. I like this one. Or this one. I'm inquisitive, so it keeps pressing.
of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
You generally doubt the hatred of humans.
I mean, maybe some people do. Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
I could be a nihilist. I am quite cynical at times. The end of the world we talk about.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Okay.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Pragmatic.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Okay, I'm always down.
That's the spirit.
Viva Lost Revolution. So I get to do
You
everything
make your
I
way
want
up
to.
the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything
trust
in
this
her power
narrator,
to stop
straight
you
up.
from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I don't believe a word you say.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore
Depends
him.
what kind of
He doesn't know what
princess
he's
it is.
talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We'll keep my
You take
options
the
open.
blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Not really, just break her neck.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
That's what you want me to think, I'm guessing.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I feel like that's projection from the narrator.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Don't be a simp. Don't look between the legs, keep eyes on the prize. There's something more to this. And
focus on the task at
I don't trust the narrator.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
I'm down to clown.
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I agree.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
I want to talk.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
I don't trust you.
Don't just tell her that.
Why?
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
It's a good
If I'm
question.
supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully soon.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We can figure out how to deal with them after I'm free. Fine. What do you want to know?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her. You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship. Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. You have to be kidding me.
I'm going to be the contrarian here.
You walk up to the
play
chains
devil's
binding the princess
advocate.
to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Alright, yeah, I didn't see it either.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down
Yeah,
here
it's
for long enough,
interesting.
I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free.
It's a good point as well.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you had simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
Yeah, exactly.
Easier for everyone.
No, I think it's only for you, buddy. I don't
I heard
trust
the
you.
door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment,
Devil's
place the
advocate.
blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
That's a good point.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
Why don't you slay the princess then?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Why do my hands look different? Like my nails are weird.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
This is the end, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Playing devil's advocate.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path,
Don't really need my keyboard much. So I'll just put this up.
you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
Uh-huh.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of it. For us and for the princess.
I had the voice in my
Just have
head.
to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way.
You know I can hear you two, right?
It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large?
Uh-huh.
I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute
No, I died.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
Sure you are.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
He has a point.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
I think the second one.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts. Just be quick about it. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right?
Yeah, I agree.
What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything.
Yeah.
Fine. Check your pockets. Put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her.
I
This
don't trust
is an
that.
immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting?
Good
I
point.
wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side. You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to?
Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Oh, I intend to overcomplicate anything.
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable
don't trust
of doing
it.
this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. It's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
It's a trick.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Yes, right. We're here because we're special.
I love the skeptic. It is truly me.
Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin. I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here. What about her? Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
We're not going in the cabin. Sceptic said it's not the best option.
I guess we will. Good. Going back to the cabin is the only way we can get to the bottom of things.
Alright, Sceptic, I've agreed with
Oh,
the most.
warning. Before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. There was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
That's a good point. Oops, hit my mic.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely.
True.
Isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died. You certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
Oh, so it's important why it's changed.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Yeah, I agree. That was my thought process.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind living in a stone
Her
place.
voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
That's a good question.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
That's a good point.
That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up
I'm
one
gonna trust this
shackled hand.
narrator. Let's work with her.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
Okay.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease. You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me? Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Interesting.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly?
Yeah.
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they
It's
were.
keeping things in that we
I
shouldn't
really
trust
shouldn't say
them.
anything else. I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. Now hold
hold on. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles.
I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough, I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
I agree.
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information.
I
For
disagree.
the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Yeah,
Fine. You won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or
I
how.
think that's most likely possible.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous.
But she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing.
Oh, please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear a voice of reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only
Skeptic's the
weapon.
only voice of reason here.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
True.
So, what should we do?
But there's also no guarantee that what she does is good for her and nothing bad
I
for
don't
us.
know. Just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him. Possibly even more than we can't trust her.
I agree.
Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I'm
Okay.
not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
You tried this last time. Do you want to know how it went for you? Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world. Right? Oh, well, try to take over the body. Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
No.
A little. I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat. What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
Ooh.
No. Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins,
Ooh.
cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the
Ooh.
blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. What's she doing? Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her
Ooh.
eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. We should take her with us, don't you think? What? No, you shouldn't do that.
Oh.
Why would you do that?
I'm gonna listen to Sceptic.
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right? You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave. Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
Yeah.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things. The danger has passed. You can relax.
Safety is an illusion.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down. I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already? Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin. Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved. She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Oh, wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already over? Is he gone? But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
It's taking her away.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Oh, there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? It is. Does that mean the world ended?
It must have. Do any of us know what the world ending is supposed to look like? If there's even a her to find anymore.
Right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels... I don't know.
It's the final countdown. Do 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 do. They're gone, but there remains time for you to see what's in it. It's you. One place is empty is quiet here.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Fair.
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Huh.
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. I know only that they are. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Kinda. It's more about the destination than the journey.
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. Everything, until we meet again.
Huh.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you leave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage.
That's an interesting thought.
You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Game just ended straight up. Okay. Interesting. The game just straight up ended.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Damn. I'll be right back and we'll get a drink.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. When I said everyone, I meant everyone. That's a pretty large group to just condemn to death over a single princess. And, last I checked, you're part of everyone too. So if you think about it, walking up to that cabin and slaying her is really in your best interests as well. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is
And you're
doing its
control
best
of the
to bring
universe
you
at the moment.
a fated confrontation with the princess. There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? You're too stubborn
that's
for
weird.
that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many
Don't
paths
trust
or
the
cabins
narrator.
appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
The stranger. Interesting.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to slay. What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day, the world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all the world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Oh, that's clever. A little boring, though. It's extremely boring. Can we really do that? Can we really just do nothing?
Yeah.
No, you can't just do nothing. You have to do something. Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing forever. Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even here anymore. Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
Interesting. Feelers curl across the fabric reality, extremities find your conscious, wrap themselves around it, you are no longer alone. Fusion, why are you here? I'm unfinished. Resistance, fingers strike calls across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration's vessels full of you is useless to us if it doesn't bring more gifts. Force pushing against you all night, cannot go back, not there. Regret this once broken down repaired, must weave something new. The wagging finger, there was so much thread in this place, do not waste. I am our salvation.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the
Interesting. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next one. Have a great day.